Do you work in IT? I mean, really in IT. I bet you know what monitoring is then. What, you have a person checking all your hardware 24/7? No, you have monitoring checks and alerts so that you can instantly restart any device that does go down. But that's your hardware. What if your hardware is working fine, but your apps and services are down? How is CPU load going to tell you if Microsoft Dynamics 365 displays existing orders but stops taking new ones? Who's sending out that alert? That's what visual synthetic monitoring like Alyvix and Alyvix Service is for, to tell you when something critical your users or customers need isn't working. And better yet, before they even notice. You see, synthetic monitoring doesn't directly check hardware. It pretends it's one of your users, someone who's trying to run one of your critical tasks. You know, the kind that makes you money. So what do I mean it runs your tasks? Well, you show it how. You tell it what to look for, what to click on, what to type in. Kind of like you were teaching a trainee employee how to do it. But you don't have anyone doing it. When you're done, you'll have a software bot that does that task on its own every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, every 5 minutes, whatever you think is right. Run it more often on work days, less on weekends if you want, or just from 9 to 5. You've got complete control of the schedule. Alyvix Service also has tools for hosting. You can securely separate some test cases from others with permissions, define custom tags, and filter on those tags. So step 1, build that bot. Break down your critical task into a series of steps. If a bot can run each step live, then your users can too. Let's say your app is Microsoft Dynamics 365. Then your task steps could be logging in, finding an account, setting up a new purchase order, and logging out. Use the free Alyvix editor to define each step. Show it what to look for, what to click on, what to type in, the exact same steps a user would go through. And then tell Alyvix the longest time each step should take. That's where our warning and critical come from. Like if the login step takes more than 10 seconds, send an alert. Alyvix tells you something's wrong, so an administrator can fix it. Hardware monitoring can't do that. 2, once you've built your bot, run it manually or with Alyvix Service. Here, for instance, Alyvix sees the password field, so it types in the password. Then it sees the sign-in button, so it clicks on that. This is Alyvix running your steps on your actual interface. That's the visual part. Alyvix watches the screen to make sure that your app responds to your input like it should. If it doesn't respond or if it's really slow, Alyvix Service can tell your monitoring system about the problem right away, so it sends out alerts and notifications. Now the fun part, at least for IT admins. Go to your monitoring system that has Alyvix Service integrated. I'll use NetEye here, but any monitoring system is fine. Alyvix Service is what's running your bot however often you like. Let's drop in our new test case. Boom, boom, and set it to run every 4 minutes. And now we wait while it's scheduled and runs. I guess 4 minutes is enough for a quick workout. Maybe a better use of our time, though, is looking at the features that makes Alyvix Service easy to use, like tags. If you manage a large number of test cases, it can be difficult to find a specific one or a specific subset. Service lets you create and assign tags whenever you want for criteria like where they're located, which department they belong to, or their level of importance. Then you can filter to see only those test cases that match a tag. Alyvix Service is also multi-tenant friendly. Users need permissions to view or edit test cases belonging to a specific tenant, and admins can filter test cases by tenant. That lets you reduce costs by running many clients on a single installation. Alyvix Service also works with time periods you define. If you want to run a particular test case from only 9 to 5, define that in your monitoring system and then use the dropdown to assign it to a test case. So let's take a look at our test case result. Yep, here our first report is ready. Or if we magically wait an hour, a bunch of test cases have run. What does a single report tell us? Check it out. Here are each of the steps we created for our test case. They're all green, which means they all worked correctly within the time limit we gave them. But it also tells us how long each step took. So the report is a snapshot of how a single test case ran. You can see what Alyvix saw and even show the report to your boss. Although, of course, everyone is really interested in what happens when something didn't work. So when a task case run does fail, the report shows you exactly which step, with both the actual screenshot next to what Alyvix expected to see. That's proof right there you can use if, say, you have an SLA because your service is managed by someone else. But what if you want to see what the trends are? Or if you need to look at the details to see exactly what's failing? That's when you want to collect test case data over time and dig in with analytics. Alyvix Service takes care of sending all that data to your monitoring system. If your monitoring system is like NetEye, which includes Grafana, you can drill down into the details interactively. It's like magic if you've never done it before. You can see when response times are worse, like time of day or day of week. You can see when something is getting progressively slower. You can see when everything went down. And when things do go bad, you can see which task steps took longer than usual to help you diagnose the root cause. You know, any monitoring system will tell you how CPU load is doing. If you need to know whether your apps and your services are working for your users and your customers right now, you need something different: synthetic monitoring. Alyvix and Alyvix Service. Check out the website. Subscribe to the channel wherever the button is these days.